starting us off with number 10 is the elevator game. This one is extremely popular in Japan, and I feel like Japan just gets creepy stuff right like 99.9% of the time, so I trust them. Either way, the point of this game is to maybe transport to another world or parallel universe of sorts. To play, you have to be in a building that has at least 10 floors, and you have to be the only one in the elevator at all times. To start the game, you have to go to a sequence of floors in a specific order, but if any random person gets in the elevator while you're doing this, you have to start all over again, so it is a bit of a mission. So the order is the 4th floor, then the 2nd, then 6th, then 2nd, then 10th, and then finally the 5th. If a woman enters the elevator while you're on the 5th floor, do not look at her, don't speak to her, no eye contact, no nothing. This woman is not human and will keep you with her forever if you have any interaction with her. Once she enters, press the 1st floor and then the elevator will go up or down as it pleases, and it should take you to the 10th floor. At this point, leave the elevator straight away. The woman will ask you in an inhuman high-pitched voice where you're going or what's wrong. Do not answer her, just go. If you exit the elevator and it's dark, your phone doesn't work, and you see a red cross outside one of the windows, then you've reached the other world. Congratulations. And the only way to get back to our world is to repeat all the steps you did to leave it, but if you reach the 1st floor and the door opens but things seem off, even if a speck of dust is out of place, then do not exit the elevator because you will die. Apparently, this is what Eliza Lamb was doing in the elevator CCTV footage of her right before she died. And I've seen that footage, but I didn't know about the game at the point, and I was like, wow. Coming in at number 9 is Dry Bones. So if you like hide and seek, you're gonna like this one, or maybe you won't, depending on how much of a scaredy cat you are. I definitely am, but yeah. So Dry Bones is like hide and seek demon edition. Great, must they just interject in everything we do? So you can only play near midnight, and you start off by getting a candle and a match. At precisely 12:01 AM, you have to go to your bathroom and stare at the mirror while lighting the candle. Keep the match burning until it goes out completely, and then say, I am aware of your presence and I welcome you into my home. Come now. And this is essentially the point you're inviting a demon into your house, and if you've made it this far, this is the part where you run for your freaking life and hide like your life depends on it, cause it high-key does. To survive the game, you need to stay hidden till 3 AM. Once the clock hits 3, go to the largest room in your house and say thank you for playing, but you must leave now. You are no longer welcome. If you hear a groaning sound right after that, then the demon will leave your house and give you a prize of your choosing. I don't really know how this bit works, like do you have a conversation with the demon? Does it magically know what you want? I don't really know. But if you don't hear a groaning sound, then that means the demon wasn't satisfied with how you played, and let's just say you'll face a fate worse than death. So in conclusion, just don't lose. Easy. At number 8 we have 3 Kings. Now this game actually came from the No Sleep subreddit thread, which we all go and explore when we're, just feeling a type of way. Either way, in order to play you need 3 chairs. 2 have to face each other and there has to be a mirror on each one. The 3rd chair gets placed in the middle of the 2 chairs, and that one is your throne, making you the king. Hello, your highness. The mirrors constitute as your queen and your fool, but you don't know which one is which, and mind you, this all has to be done in the dark. And keep in mind, from the queen and fool's point of view, you're also either their queen or their fool. I said it was called 3 Kings, right? There have to be 3 kings. At 3:30 AM, sit on the throne with a lit candle facing one of the mirrors. Hold the candle, stare into the darkness, and start the game. The whole point of the game is to literally transport your consciousness to a whole other dimension or get to the shadow side. People have claimed they've had conversations with themselves in an out-of-body introspective experience or manner. You become able to look at your past and present through new eyes. Others have said the whole thing feels like a lucid dream almost, or meditation, which are 2 very different experiences, so I guess it really just depends on what you're like as a person. Let me know if you try it. I'd be very interested to know if you thought it was a lucid dream or meditation. Filling our number 7 slot is Concentrate. Now I totally get why a lot of people would want to play this one, and I also get why people wouldn't, so let me know which side you fall on. So this is actually classified as a scary sleepover game, but I'm like, which 15-year-old is gonna gonna want to play this. I would not have been doing this at 15, but that's me. Either way, if you're the one playing, you need to close your eyes and sit on the ground while a friend sits behind you reciting a dark poem about babies crying and people dying. The poem is long as hell. I'm not gonna stand here reciting the whole thing for you, but you can Google it if you want to play. While they're reciting it, the person has to be lightly tapping the back of the person who's actually playing. They then imitate murdering you in multiple ways. Get creative here, people, you know, get those slit throats in there. And then finally, your friend has to push you over from your sitting position. By the end of this whole experience, you should feel like you're in a trance of some kind, and this trance essentially allows you to see how you yourself will end up dying. Apparently, you'll see a color of some kind, and that color corresponds to a way of death. Again, you can find it on Google. Hey man, some people just want to know about the end and others don't. To each their own. I think I would not want to play this game. I don't want to know how I go. It can just remain a mystery. I don't want to predict it. I don't want to know. Coming in at number 5 is the closet game. Now I don't know who in their right mind would actually want to play this, but I don't judge. So if you want to play it, go right ahead. Now the sole purpose of this game is to summon a demon into your home, whether that's to haunt it, to just spread bad juju around you. I don't know, maybe you hate your parents and you want to piss them off. Maybe you're lonely and a demon seems like good company to you. I don't know. To start the game, you have to stand in your closet with the door closed with an unlit match in your hand. You then have to say, "Show me the light or leave me in the darkness." Dramatic, I know. After saying this, you should hear a very faint whisper of some kind, and when you do, you have to light the match ASAP Rocky. That is key, you guys. If you don't do it quickly enough, the demon you just called upon can suck you into a pit of eternal darkness forever. That's just really not the vibe we're going for here. So light the match on time, open the closet door, and step out slowly, and voila. Your room or house should now be haunted or protected or cursed by a demon. But just a safety tip, if you do play this game, you should never look inside your closet without light after it. And if you accidentally leave your closet door open at night, you'll definitely be able to see the demon's red glowing eyes watching you from inside. And if you want that, then knock yourself out, but yeah. At number 4 is the Answer Man. Now this is another one from Japan, and it's a bit of an urban legend. Apparently the game invokes an evil spirit if done correctly, so if that sounds like your jam, then listen up. Now with this one, you have to play with 10 people, so if you don't have 10 friends, I certainly don't, then you can't play the game. I'm sorry, you loner. So step 1 is to sit in a circle, and you all have to have your phones on you. On the count of 3, or just at the same time, every person has to call the person on their left and then listen. Since everyone's calling each other all at the same time, everyone should hear the busy ringtone, and no one's call should be answered, but one call will be. If your call gets answered, that is the Answer Man. If you get him on the phone, you can ask him absolutely anything, and he will answer it truthfully and rightfully. But with every question you ask, he gets to ask you a question too that you have to answer. If you answer his questions wrong or don't answer them period, then a gnarled, bony hand will appear out of the phone and tear off a piece of your body. Honestly, I'm down to play this game as long as my call isn't the one that gets answered. I don't mind being, you know, like a spectator to the mayhem. I don't want to be involved, but like I'll be eating popcorn and watching everything unfold. Safe over there. Filling our number 3 slot is the Dark Reflection Ritual, and contrary to the title of it, it still is a game, not just a ritual, so don't worry, I didn't snake you. So the whole point of this one is to boost your luck, but to do that, you're gonna have to go through a night of terrible luck to get there. You can play this game by yourself if you're ballsy, or in a group if you're not. I would definitely play it in a group, because personally there is strength in numbers and I'm not trying to die, or at least I'm not trying to die first. So you play by finding a mirror. A small handheld one is the best one to have, and you have to look at your reflection in the eyes for a few seconds. While you do this, you have to focus all your bad negative energy and breathe it onto the mirror till it fogs up completely. At that point, you quickly hold the mirror to a burning flame to create a black smudge on it. After that, the rock star can come out of you a bit, because then you get to smash the mirror, which is a lot of fun. But your rock star dreams are gonna end very shortly after that, because the rest of the night will be hell. Bad luck will follow you and get worse and more dangerous as the night goes on. Be on your guard, try not to die, and if you survive till the sun rises, then you've basically won at life. The game is meant to give you success in everything you do very shortly after, and to be honest, this game is sounding real tempting to me right now. Be right back. Now at number 2 is the telephone ritual. This one's extremely dangerous, so you really need to proceed with caution on this one. I mean, then again, they all are. So what you need is a phone, salt, a flashlight, but you can also use the light on your phone, and an amulet for protection. But that one's optional. I mean, how many people have a handy dandy amulet just lying around? I certainly don't. So this one can only be played alone and only at night. After midnight, when you're home alone, turn off all the lights in your house and make your way to your bathroom. Scatter salt around the toilet door and make a sort of barrier of salt outside it, and then lock yourself inside. Use the flashlight to light up the surface of water in the toilet bowl and just keep staring at the water. And please try not to or something in there beforehand, because that's just going to make for a very unpleasant game. While still staring into the bowl, call your house phone and let it ring, and don't hang up. And at this point, one of two things can happen. If you start seeing the surface of the water change, or you hear a noise from inside the house, then hang up ASAP and scatter salt all around yourself. Now the second thing that can happen is that if someone answers your call, then hang up straight away, get the hell out of the toilet, put salt around the house phone, and hopefully you'll be safe in that moment, but not for long. To be on the safest side, just sprinkle salt all around your house after this. But the point of the game is that apparently the ghost of an ancestor or a spirit that haunts your house is meant to answer the phone and kind of just be in your house. I'm honestly not trying to awaken any demon ghost entity that lives in my house. You can just stay in hibernation, thank you. And finally, at number 1 is the picture game. If you're a paranormal ghost lover, then saddle up, because this one is for you, and there are many rules to this one, so pay attention please, and thank you. Any number of people can play, and the point is to catch a ghost or entity on camera. You have to start the game at midnight in a quiet room. Out of string or rope, make a circle by tying the ends together and place this rope circle in the middle of your chosen room. Place a glass in the middle of the rope circle and fill it with wine or any alcoholic drink, really. Then everyone should sit in a circle around the rope and have a mirror in front of them, but the reflective part has to be facing the ceiling. A lot of rules, I know, but that's just the setup. Now the game actually begins. Everyone has to close their eyes, hold hands, and one after the other say, "I trust you." Not all at once, one after the other. After everyone's done that, everyone has to say, "The door is open, please come in," 3 times in unison, and then you can open your eyes. With a camera, every person has to say, "I caught you," then take a picture of the middle of the circle. Don't preview the photo, just say the words and take it. Then pass the camera around and repeat till each person has taken 3 pictures, so the camera's gone around the circle 3 times at that point. At any point, if anyone starts feeling like vomiting or begins to cry, do not let them take any pictures, just make them pass the camera on. Once you've done all that, put the camera down, close your eyes again, and say it is time to go home 3 times in unison. Each person has to then turn their mirror upside down, put the lights on, and use some sharp tool to cut the rope circle, empty the drink into the earth, and review the pictures and prepare to be shocked. If you do end up doing this, please show me if you see anything weird on your camera film, like I really want to know. Camera film? We're in the digital era. Your SD card.
Starting off this countdown, we have Bloody Mary. I wish I was talking about the cocktail here, but I'm not. Now, I feel like most of you have heard of this game. It was super popular when I was a kid, and I played it lots, so I'm surprised I'm not cursed. Anyways, there are a number of different ways to play the game, but the most common one is to go into a dark bathroom, look into the mirror, and chant Bloody Mary 3 times. Some say you must surround yourself by candles. Others claim you have to spin around while saying her name. Or you have to say, "Bloody Mary, I believe in you." This supposedly summons Bloody Mary, and if it works, she will reach out of the mirror and scratch you, or grab you and pull you back into the mirror with her. Apparently, Bloody Mary is described as a rotting skeleton-looking woman with long sharp nails, rotting flesh, and matted, dirty, and bloody hair. Some say she's eyeless. Others say she wears the eyes of her past victims. Either way, not a game I ever want to play again. In our 9th spot, we have the Devil's Face. This is the game for you if you have ever wanted to see what the devil looks like. Basically, it's simple. Go to your bathroom at night right before midnight. Stand in front of the dark mirror and close your eyes. When the clock strikes midnight, open your eyes and stare into the mirror. You should see the devil staring right back at you. Yeah! Like, get it? Like you're the devil? In our 8th spot, we have Charlie Charlie. This game seems simple enough. Get a piece of paper, draw a grid on it so that there are 4 different sections, and write yes and no in the boxes. Then take 2 pencils and balance one on top of the other. Start the game by saying, "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" If he is, the pencils will move and it should point to yes. Then you can start to ask him yes or no questions. Now, who exactly is this Charlie boy? Well, it ain't Charlie Brown, that's for sure. Now, there are a number of versions. One claims he's a demon from Mexico. Others say he's the ghost of someone who took their own life, or the ghost of someone that died in a tragic accident. Either way, I'm not trying to contact nobody from the afterlife. No, thank you. Especially because Charlie has sinister intentions. Now guys, before I go any further, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. You know the drill, because it really helps us out. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the 3 Kings. For this game, you need a large empty room without windows, candles, a bucket of water, and a mug, a fan, 2 large mirrors, 3 chairs, an alarm clock, and a bunch of other stuff. Now, the steps for this to work are pretty elaborate. To play this game, you need to set up the mirrors facing each other with a chair in the middle. The chair is your throne. You're the king. The other chairs are the queen and the fool. The game starts at 3:30 a.m. You gotta sit in the chair with the lit candles and stare into the darkness. Basically, if you follow all the steps, you will transport your consciousness from this dimension into another. Some have said that they have seen other versions of themselves. Others have said they have gotten answers to their burning questions. Again, if done wrong, this could go very badly. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Midnight Man. For this game, you are literally welcoming this terrifying creature known as the Midnight Man into your home. So in order to play, you need a candle, matches, salt, paper, a pen, a wooden door, and a drop of your own blood. First off, write your name on the paper with the pen and prick yourself and put your drop of blood on the paper. Then place this paper in front of the wooden door. Turn off all your lights and then light your candle. Once it's 11:59 at night, put your candle down and knock on the door 22 times. The 22nd knock must be completed when the clock strikes midnight. Then open the door, blow out your candle, and close your door. Then immediately relight your candle. You have now welcomed the Midnight Man into your home. Now you have to move through your house without getting caught by him. You have to do this until 3:33 a.m. If you stay in one place longer than a few seconds, he'll catch you. If your candle goes out and you're unable to relight it within about 15 seconds, stop what you're doing, draw a circle of salt around you, and don't move until 3:33 a.m. Now, you can't leave your house until the game has ended, and you can't turn on any lights. Not following these sets of rules can end very badly for you. Now, you can't see this man, but if he's near you, you'll feel a sense of panic and dread. You'll start to hear voices and hallucinate. Some say if he catches you, he will haunt you for the rest of your life. Others say he'll rip out your organs. So, pick one. Haunt for your rest of your life or lose your organs.
In our number 9 spot, we have Dry Bones. So this game is pretty terrifying. Here's a game where you get to summon a demon. Such fun. I wish I could understand the headspace one must be in to be excited about the possibility of this game. Woo, today I'm gonna summon a demon. Woo, can't wait. Nah, it's probably today a demon will be summoned and I shall get my revenge. That sounds more likely. Anyways, basically to play this game, you have to hold a candle in the dark up to a mirror and do a little Bloody Mary first. Then once you feel a presence, you say, "I acknowledge your presence. I welcome you into my home for a game of hide and seek until 3 a.m. Come until 3 a.m. Come in now." Then you run for your life and hide. But be quiet so the demon doesn't hear where you hide. If he somehow doesn't find you, then you're safe, and at 3 a.m. you can tell him that he is no longer welcome in your house and he will have to leave. If he catches you, then you will probably die, / your soul will get eaten, or whatever demons do with souls. Again, why oh why would anyone want to play this game? I don't know. In our number 8 spot, we have Daruma-san. This is the strangest paranormal game. Basically, this is a game that you start playing while in the bathtub. You speak some summoning words and then go to sleep as normal. The next day, you will wake up and Daruma-san, the spirit of a Japanese woman, will follow you everywhere and will try to catch you. If this spirit gets too close, you can say "Tomer," and that will give you time to run. Before midnight on the same day, you have to look at the spirit over your right shoulder and yell "Kita!" and swing your arm in a downward cutting motion. Chitta.
If you don't do this, then the spirit may enter your dreams. I'm assuming it ends once you sleep or you tell the spirit to be gone, but man, it is so not a good idea to summon demons or bad spirits. You just never know what could happen. In our number 7 spot, we have the 11-mile game. This one appears kind of fun, but then also not, because it requires so much in order to have a wish fulfilled. But yeah, this is a game where you will have a wish fulfilled if you win. Basically, you get into a car and drive to the country where no one is. Then you begin driving up to 11 miles, and as you get further and further, then you will begin to see/hear paranormal activity in your car and outside of it. Do not acknowledge it. As you drive more and more, you'll feel more paranormal activity, as well as your car may stall and also completely stop. Not terrifying at all. You're supposed to ignore it and keep going till you hit 11 miles, and if you make it all the way, then your wish is granted. I may be playing this game on Halloween night, but honestly, I bet you death is the consequence, so I might have to chew on this a little while longer. I just love presents though, so it's very hard. In our number 6 spot, we have the closet game. The closet game is literally a game that could basically be the reason you get pulled into hell. Let me explain. This one seems like probably one of the most risky games. I mean, what if you actually die? Is anyone with me? I don't understand. Anyways, apparently you need to be inside of a closet with an unlit match and then say the words, "Show me the light or leave me in darkness." You should hear a demon then whisper to you, and when you hear the whisper, you must immediately light your match and step out of your closet. If you lit the match in time and didn't get dragged into hell by this demon, then you won the game. So simple and yet horrifying. You're also never to open your closet again in the dark, or you may cross paths with the demon again. I repeat my earlier notion. Such fun. In our number 5 spot, we have Bloody Mary. This is the classic childhood game that everyone spoke about doing back in the day, but I swear no one actually did it properly. Also, looking back, I'm not surprised as to why all of us 90s babies were doing it. We were thrown in front of movies like Practical Magic and The Craft, and watched Are You Afraid of the Dark every Sunday night, so clearly we were just a result of the media we were consuming. Anyways, I recently learned that in order to play Bloody Mary properly, you need to have a candle with you. I swear not a lot of people knew that, probably because we were kids though and we wouldn't be allowed to hold candles, especially ones that are lit. Anyways, you go into a dark bathroom between midnight and 3 a.m. with a lit candle in hand, and you have to also have 4 other lit candles around you. Then look into the mirror and say Bloody Mary 13 times while visualizing her energy. Open your eyes and be prepared to either see an eyeless skeleton or someone with the eyes of her past victims. Then run away or tell the spirit to be gone because she'll probs eat you. Maybe don't try this at home, kids. In our number 4 spot, we have One Man Hide and Go Seek. Anyone watching get creeped out about dolls? Well, I do, and this next game is so scary, so if you are the same, maybe skip this one. One Man Hide and Go Seek game is a pretty elaborate game, so I'm not going to go into full detail about how to play it. It will take up too much time, so Google it. But basically in this game, you will be summoning a spirit into a doll. You will be deconstructing the doll, filling it with rice, strands of hair, and also nail clippings. Gross. And then you sew it up with red thread, give it a name that you repeat 3 times, and then throw it into a bath with water. You then run and hide and eventually come back and injure the doll with a sharp object. Honestly, there's too much to this game and it's so weird and creepy. You eventually have to burn the doll. Honestly, I recommend just skipping everything and burn the doll because they all are creepy. Except Barbie. Love that girl. We go way back. In our number 3 spot, we have the Midnight Game. The Midnight Game is a game you play if you want to torture yourself psychologically. It is not a game you play if you plan on feeling safe in your home ever again. This game was actually used to punish people at one point. It was a part of an old pagan ritual used to punish people. You basically summon the Midnight Man at midnight and then you walk around your house while making sure you do not get caught by him. If you manage to avoid him until 3:33 a.m., then you will have won. But the prize that you will have won is psychological and physical exhaustion and possibly fear and PTSD from this torturous event. Not a prize I'm down for. In some tellings of this game, the Midnight Man actually leaves you a present, basically something you desire. Honestly, that makes me want to play it because I love prezzies, but yeah, better not. In our number 2 spot, we have the Ouija board. One game you should never ever play is the Ouija board, but I know so many of you watching are rebels, so you probs will no matter what I say, so hey. Don't say I didn't warn ya! This is a literal board game that is a way to communicate with spirit. The catch though is you will never know what kind of spirit, so it could be a dark and tricky demon. I played this as a kid, and my mom threw it out into the street, and 4 days later I was in the hospital. No one knew what was wrong with me, and I was so bad that the doctor thought I was going to die. It wasn't until my aunt took my Ouija board off the street and took it home that a random doctor from the US discovered that I had pneumonia, and obviously I was saved. True story. Play at your own risk. In our number 1 spot, we have the stalking game. Apparently this is a game you only play when you feel a spontaneous urge to do so. So just go with your gut. Don't play it if you don't feel drawn to it. It has to be a spontaneous decision. The person must first walk to a crossroad, reach into their pocket, and hold an item in their right hand. Then you're supposed to spin in the direction of the first bird you see, and then follow the first stranger you see. If you lose sight of the person you're following, you're supposed to go home right away and sleep. If the stranger being stalked is lost because they go inside their home, you should go to bed at your normal time. If the stranger becomes lost because they entered a building that isn't a house, you have to stay up for 24 hours before finally sleeping. The item needs to be held the entire time you stalk the stranger, and you should place it under your pillow before sleeping. You have to stay in bed until you dream. That is the rule. You should dream about your own death day, a bloody woman with no eyes, spirits that give you advice, an angel, or of course a demon. Play this game at your own risk. You have been warned, child. Coming up in our number 10 spot, we have a game called Three Kings. This is a ritual game that is said to be something that you would play when wanting to connect with beings from another dimension, or perhaps even connect with your subconscious. Some have joked that it is actually a game that is a form of therapy and can help the practitioner understand themselves better. Basically, through setting the scene in a dark basement with 2 large mirrors, 3 chairs, a pack of candles, and an object from your childhood, you are supposed to be able to get in contact with a being. At around 3:30 a.m. in the morning, you are supposed to go to the scene with a burning candle and sit down on one of the chairs at 3:33 a.m. with your candle. You're supposed to look into the darkness, not the candle or the mirrors, and eventually you will be approached by a being. An entity, if you will. Look, whether you believe in this game or not, I personally think it could be deeply psychologically damaging if you play it. So just don't do it, okay? I feel like the gym teacher from Mean Girls. Just don't do it, okay? In our number 9 spot, we have Bloody Mary. This ritualistic game has been widely known due to pop culture and Hollywood movies. It's a ritual you perform in order to bear witness to a woman named Mary that is bloody, who is believed to be a vengeful witch spirit, not the Virgin Mary. You're supposed to hold a candle up to a mirror and say Bloody Mary 3 times, and the witch is supposed to reveal herself. There are mixed experiences from people that have done this ritual. Some say they were disappointed, and others have expressed being terrified from encountering the spirit. Some have stated that people that play the game experience Bloody Mary's wrath and could possibly be strangled, cursed, or get their souls taken. What? Well, not sure if I believe this to be real, but heck, it's dark enough that you should probably stay away from it. In our number 8 spot, we have the Hooded Man. This is a weird ritual as it doesn't necessarily seem all that bad, but there are people that believe that it has the potential to be bad if the player does not return. So let me explain. So this is a ritual that you would play if you were someone interested in possibly traveling to another dimension. Before even doing the ritual, you are supposed to cleanse your space, or cleanse yourself. Then when it is night, you're supposed to go to a room with a phone and you basically make a call for a cab. If you have succeeded, you're supposed to see a black cab pull up and you're supposed to get into it. Lock the doors and fall asleep. This seems highly dangerous and risky, but okay people that think this isn't that bad. If you wake up and it's 3:30 a.m., then you'll fall asleep again and find yourself in the back of a cab with a hooded man driving in the front seat. You're supposed to look out the window and see another world. If you want to leave, you're supposed to whisper to the hooded man, "I have reached my destination now," and you shall be returned home. Some believe this game to be bad because if you get caught up in the other world and don't try to leave, then you might not return. Honestly, I'd be more worried about getting into a cab of someone you don't know and falling asleep. Yikes, just don't play this game ever. In our number 7 spot, we have The Midnight Man. This is a game that has become quite known in the last while. However, everyone that plays this game advises to never ever play this game. Many people have reported hallucinations and permanent mental scars that are just not worth the risk. Apparently at midnight you are supposed to summon the Midnight Man by calling out to him, and then you are supposed to run around your house and you have to try to not get caught by him. At 3:33 a.m. it is said that if you were not caught, then you have won the game. Apparently this was a game that was an old pagan ritual that was used to punish anyone that disobeyed the religion. Yeah, as psychological torture, for sure. Coming up in our number 6 spot, we have Daruma-san. This is a bath ritual that was created in Japan, and it honestly feels like a story my brother would make up because the things you have to do will possibly make you laugh. It made me laugh, but I laugh easily. This is a ritual that people do so that they can have the lovely experience of a ghost chasing them around all day long, and if they don't manage to capture the ghost, because yes, you are supposed to capture her, then she will follow you into your dreams. Yikes. Apparently you summon her while in the tub while washing your hair. You're supposed to say, "Daruma-san fell down," over and over. Then she's supposed to appear and show you that she fell onto the bathtub where she was impaled through the eye. The next day she's supposed to chase you everywhere, and you are supposed to capture her by looking over your right shoulder, and you're supposed to yell "Kita" and do a karate chop movement with your hand. No, I'm not making this up. Just stay away from this ritual. It's a crazy one. In our number 5 spot, we have One Man Hide and Seek. This is another Japanese game that you may want to play if you're looking for a reason to crawl under your covers and never leave the comfort of your bed again. This game is called Hitori Kakurembo, and when playing this game, you are playing hide and seek with a possessed doll. Yeah, how is this real? I'm terrified. Basically, you're supposed to de-stuff a doll and replace its insides with rice, along with a piece of your fingernail. Sew the doll's opening with a red thread and wrap the remaining thread around the doll. You're then supposed to give the doll a name and place it in the bathtub with some water. Then you're advised to quickly go to your hiding place and turn off the lights. Apparently you're then supposed to take a giant sip of salt water and without swallowing it, go and look for the doll. It's not supposed to be in the tub anymore. God, I can see why this game may be tempting to play, but also terrifying. In our number 4 spot, we have the closet game. This one shouldn't be so hard to convince you to never play because this one requires you to summon a demon! Yeah, a demon. Why, oh why, was this game invented? Holy moly. Basically, there is no objective but to feel the most amount of fear, probably for the adrenaline junkies of the world. Apparently, you're supposed to go into a pitch black closet, hold up an unlit match, and say, "Show me the light or leave me in darkness." Apparently when you hear a whisper, you have to immediately light your match or the demon will grab you and pull you into eternal darkness. Ah, lovely. If you successfully light your match and get out of the closet, then you won. But just know that you can never look inside your closet ever again because it will forever be haunted by a demon. In our number 3 spot, we have the Elevator to Another World ritual game. This is a game that you would play if you want to have the experience of going to another world. Sounds pretty PG, but with playing games like this, you never know what could happen and you should be careful. All you have to do is find a building with at least 10 floors and make sure to be riding alone. Then press this combo, 4, 2, 6, 2, 10, 5. On the 5th floor, a woman will enter. Do not look at her. Then the elevator will ascend to the 10th floor where you can get out and observe a new world. When you want to go home, get back in the elevator and press the same combo. This sounds so cool, but apparently people have had some crazy experiences from it, so maybe proceed with caution. In our number 2 spot, we have the Dry Bones ritual. Another game to summon a demon. There is no reason for this. Why, people? This game apparently is done with the objective to win a prize. I don't know what prize. It will be different for every person, but it's supposed to be something good. You're supposed to have a mirror, a candle, and some matches. Go into your room at 12:01 a.m. on a night when you're completely alone. You're supposed to stare at your reflection in the mirror and listen for any noise or whispers. If you hear something, leave your house right away, as that means the demon's there. If it's silent, then you just think about your prize that you want. You're then supposed to light the candle with the match. Don't blow out the match yourself, but wait for it to burn out on its own. Then lie down on the floor and say, "I am aware of your presence and I welcome you into my home. Come now." After that, go to the largest room in your house and wait for a moaning noise. If you hear it, the hide and seek game has started. If you manage to hide from the demon until 3 a.m., then you win. You must say, "Thank you for playing, but please leave now. You are no longer welcome," to the demon. The demon will leave once you hear a groan. You can expect your prize the next day on your doorstep. If you don't win, the consequences could be dire. I couldn't find out any other testimonials, so maybe this game is just not worth the risk. In our number 1 spot, we have the Ouija board. I am personally not a fan of this game, as I personally had a very traumatic experience with it when I was only 11, and it took many years of therapy to work through the psychological impact that it had. I'm not joking. This is the number 1 game that I would advise that you do not play, but of course that's my opinion and bias, so do whatever you like. However, you have been warned. This is a board game that was invented in 1890. Yep, it's quite old. It was invented as a tool for mediums and everyday people to connect with the dead and pass along messages. Over the last 100+ years, it has become more known due to Hollywood movies, but it was a game that actually grew to popularity through word of mouth. Of course, Catholic and Christian religious groups everywhere advised against it because it is not particularly a positive tool. It's a game that opens a portal to the dead, and you never know who you're communicating with. It could be good spirits and it could be bad. Some believe that the bad spirits will haunt the player if they are unlucky to channel them and will drive them to insanity. Regardless of whether that is true or not, it could be psychologically damaging to anyone that remotely believes in good or evil, heaven and hell, or any kind of afterlife.
Starting off this countdown, we have the corner game. For this game, you need 4 people. 1 person stands in each corner of the room with the lights off. They face towards the walls. You then count down from 3, and then everybody turns clockwise towards another corner. You then count down again from 3 and rotate again. After you've completed a full rotation, 1 member of your group will disappear. Don't say anything though. If you're lucky, it won't be you. This friend was then taken to the spirit realm. To get them back, everyone has to say their name backwards 3 times and then turn on the lights. Your friend should then reappear. If they don't, I guess they're stuck in the spirit realm forever. Moving on to number 9, we have the bathtub game, also known as Daruma-san. Basically, this game involves summoning a creepy Japanese woman that will haunt you. So basically, you start by pouring yourself a nice hot bath. You then hop into the bath with the lights off, and I guess wear your clothes unless you want this ghost demon to see you naked. Maybe that will scare her off. I don't know. Anyways, make sure you're facing the faucet and then close your eyes and repeat this out loud. Daruma-san fell down. Daruma-san fell down. Say it over and over again until she pops into your mind. You'll then see a Japanese woman standing in the bathtub with you. She will then fall down and hit her face on the faucet. Her right eye will pop out. Without you opening your eyes or turning on the lights, you have to get out of the tub and walk straight to your bed. However, the next day you will find that the ghost of this woman that died in the bathtub will now be haunting you. Everywhere you go, she will be right there. And though you might not never see her, you will always feel like someone is standing by you or watching you. Now, if you do end up seeing her, you have to yell "Kita," which is Japanese for "I cut you loose." It helps if you swing your arms down in a chopping motion. That will apparently cut her loose from you and you will no longer be haunted. If not, you'll have her following you around and haunting you for the rest of your life. In our 8th spot, we have Charlie Charlie. A couple of years ago, this game was a huge internet sensation. People filmed themselves playing this game and claimed it worked. Now, it's pretty simple to play. All you need to do is get a piece of paper, draw a grid on it so that there are 4 different sections, and write yes and no in the boxes. Then take 2 pencils and balance one on top of the other to form a cross. Start by saying, "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" If he's there, the pencils will move and it should point to yes. Then you can start to ask him yes or no questions. but you have to be careful because it's believed that Charlie is an evil demon from Mexico and he has sinister intentions. He will either kill you or possess you and then kill you. In our 7th spot today, we have the closet game. Now this game is literally marketed as a game that will summon demons into your own home. Now I don't know who hears that and then thinks, wow, sounds good, it's fun, let's play this game. But there are a few people out there that have done this. All you have to do is stand in your closet at night with an unlit match. Then out loud you have to say, show me the light or leave me in the darkness. Once you hear a faint whisper, you gotta light up that match. If you don't, you'll be dragged off into the darkness and probably die. Now if you light the match in time, you're safe from the demon. But now, you have invited it to live in your closet, and you always have to shut the closet door every night before bed or else he will come out to get you. And you can never look inside the closet without the light being turned on, or again, he will get you. Like there's literally nothing positive about this game. Like chances are the demon will get you. Coming in at number 6 we have Candyman. If you've seen the film Candyman, then you probably already know how to play it. It's pretty much like Bloody Mary. You're in the bathroom in front of the mirror with the lights off. You then need to say Candyman's name 5 times. After doing so, you need to turn on the lights immediately or else the Candyman will get you and kill you in a very gruesome manner. And that's it. That's the game. Again, I don't know why someone would want to play this game. It's a matter of life and death. I guess people just like the adrenaline rush of finding the light fast enough before they die. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the thumb game. Now this game is based off of an old Japanese legend in which a woman gets murdered and dismembered by a serial killer. The police managed to locate all her chopped up body parts except for her left thumb. So for this game, you and 3 or more friends sit in a circle with a lit candle in the middle. Each person holds onto the thumb of the person sitting to his or her right. So everyone is grabbing everyone's left thumb. You then close your eyes and repeat this chant. Oh yeah, you be, hear our voices. Oh yeah, you be, grant our wish. Within moments, you'll be transported to the scene of the murder. The object of the game is to then find this girl's thumb. However, you have to do so while holding onto your friend's thumb the entire time. Should you let go, they will be taken away to the spirit realm. At some point, you might feel a bony finger tapping on your shoulder, but whatever you do not look around. Doing so will get you killed. You have until the candle burns out to find the missing thumb, and then you'll return to your home. If you don't find the thumb, however, you're SOL. Moving on to number 4, we have one man hide and seek. Ever wanted to play hide and seek but don't have any friends to play with? Well, no fear. You can now summon a demon and have them play hide and seek with you. All you gotta do is have a doll that the demon can possess. First, you have to rip out the stuffing of the doll and replace it with rice and one of your fingernails or a strand of hair. Then you have to sew it shut. Then you place the doll in a tub filled with water and turn the lights off. Fill your mouth with some salt water and then go back to the bathtub. The doll should be gone. You then have to wander around your house looking for the doll. You need to find her while still keeping the salty water in your mouth. I have no clue why, don't ask me, I didn't make up the game. Oh, and you have to find the doll in the dark. You can't use any light whatsoever. The game ends once you have found the doll and poured the salt water from your mouth on it. Once the doll is dry, you need to burn the doll, or else this demon doll will terrorize you and your home. Coming in at number 3, we have Charlotte's Mirror. For this game, you get to contact a ghost of a 7-year-old girl named Charlotte. Charlotte died in the 15th century after her mom was burned alive at the stake for being a witch. So in order to contact her, you need to go into a dark room with a large mirror and a gift. Something Charlotte would like, maybe a toy. Anyways, you put the toy on the floor and you use the mirror to see Charlotte. So you point the mirror so you're looking at the reflection of the gift. If Charlotte likes the gift, she will reward you by answering any questions you have about the afterlife. But here's the thing, if she doesn't like your gift, you gotta run or else she's going to kill you. Also, whatever you do, do not bring candles. Her mom died from being burnt alive, so she does not like flames or fire. Okay, that's another sure way to piss her off. In our second spot, we have the binoculars game. Now this game was posted by a Reddit user who claimed he learned this game from a book that had been passed around his family generation to generation. According to the book, you play the game as so. First, you need to visit an empty house with your friend. From there, tie a piece of rope to the front door and tie the other end of the rope to your friend. Then write this message on a piece of paper. We welcome you, you shall not be harmed, and you slip it under the door. You then need to wait until 10:30 p.m., at which you split off from your friend and explore the dark home. You have to then repeat the phrase, come, come, come with me, we'll have lots of fun, come with me. Then return to your friend and put your ear to the door. If you hear knocking, that means he is on his way. So you need to run upstairs with a pair of binoculars and look out the window. You should then see a shadowy figure in the distance moving towards the house. From there, lock all the doors but open a window and shout out, "Forgive, for I am mistaken." You then close your eyes and open them again quickly. If the figure is no longer there, you're saved. If he's still coming, well, rest in peace to you both. I just don't understand why you need to tie your friend to the door. Like, are they a sacrifice or what? And in our number one spot today, we have the Hooded Man Ritual. For this game, you get to call on a ghost taxi cab with a hooded man behind the wheel. How fun. Basically, what you do is use an old rotary phone to call a specific number, and once you call this number and recite a certain phrase which I will not tell you, a black taxi cab with a hooded man behind the wheel will show up at your location. You then have to enter the cab's back seat, lock the door, and go to sleep. Apparently you'll fall asleep in 70 seconds. Then there's a huge list of things you have to follow and do. It's pretty complicated, but in the end, if you succeed, you'll make it home safely. But if the player stays in the cab until the hooded man reaches the end of his route, let's just say it won't be good. Also, if you look directly into the hooded man's eyes, you'll die immediately, so that's fun. Starting off this countdown, we have the Blue Whale Challenge. So this is an online game that kind of reminds me of the movie Nerve, because it consists of a bunch of the game players doing real life challenges. It starts off with small and easy challenges, so you think that the game is a piece of cake. Like maybe you're told to take a shot, or to watch a scary movie by yourself in the dark, ooh. But then as you get further and further into the game, these tasks get darker and darker. For one of the tasks, you must carve a blue whale into your arm with a knife. The final task though, you have to take your own life. Now you may be thinking, wow, who would actually do that? But guess what? A total of 200 people worldwide took their own lives because the game told them to. In fact, the game is now illegal to play in a number of countries because of this.
In at 9, Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary is the legend of a ghost or a phantom or a spirit, whatever you want to call it, that is conjured to reveal the future. She is said to appear in a mirror when her name is chanted repeatedly, and appearances are mostly witnessed in group participation or by someone who is about to die. Historically, the divination ritual encouraged young women to walk up a flight of stairs backwards, holding a candle and a hand mirror in a darkened house. As they gazed into the mirror, they were supposed to be able to catch a view of their future husband's face. There was, however, a chance that they would see a skull, the face of the Grim Reaper, which indicated that they were going to die before they had the chance to marry. Today, Bloody Mary allegedly appears to individuals or groups who ritualistically invoke her name in an act of captromancy, which is a fancy word for mirror divination. This is done by repeatedly chanting her name into a mirror placed in a dimly lit or candlelit room, typically done in the bathroom, and this name must be uttered at a certain number of times, but different sources have different numbers. The most common is 3, however it can go up to 13. I've never done this personally, mostly because I don't really have any friends, but either way, I don't really think that this is a good idea, or believe in this kind of thing, but like I still don't want to get possessed.
Moving on to number 8, we have Sad Satan. Now if you're a fan of horror games, then chances are you have heard about this game, and this weird legend that's associated with it. Legend goes that a YouTuber named Jamie over on Obscure Horror Corner found this game called Sad Satan while digging around the dark web. They thought it was just a normal creepy game until they realized it was much, much more. The game starts off with you wandering around a dark hallway. While doing so, eerie noises follow you around, including footsteps, distorted voices, and whispering. Some people claim that when playing the game, they hear whispers saying kill, kill, kill. The hallway ends up morphing and more unusual things start to happen. Apparently at this point, real images of dead people and murder and kidnapping victims flash on the screen, as well as other R-rated dark web stuff. Some who have played the game have claimed to feel dizzy and have gotten sick by it. The most messed up part is that in one version of the game, their character is attacked, and as their character's health lowers, their health in real life lowers as well.
And at 7, Ouija. The Ouija, also known as a spirit board or talking board, is a flat board marked with the letters of the alphabet, the numbers 0 to 9, and the words yes and no. Sometimes it has hello and goodbye. It uses a planchette as a movable indicator to spell out messages during a seance. Participants place their fingers on the planchette and it is moved about the board to spell out words by spirits. Fun fact, the term of Ouija is actually a trademark of Hasbro, but is often used to generically refer to any spirit board. Paranormal and supernatural beliefs associated with Ouija have been criticized by the scientific community and are characterized as a pseudoscience. The action of the board can be most easily explained by unconscious movements of those controlling the pointer, a phenomenon known as the ideomotor effect. But mainstream Christian denominations, including Catholicism, have warned us against using Ouija boards, holding that they can lead to demonic possessions. Occultists, on the other hand, are divided on the issue, some saying that it can be used as a tool for positive transformation, don't know how that works, and others are reiterating the warnings and caution many inexperienced users against it. But hey, it's ages 9 and up, so you have to be at least 9 years old to summon Satan. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments.
In our 6th spot today, we have Repla Snatus, which is Satan's helper spelled backwards. So you already know the vibe of this game. So legend goes that this website is haunted by a little girl that was killed by her father. One night, a storm knocked down a foam pole that was located over her grave. Shortly after, this website mysteriously appeared online. Now, it's said that you can only enter the site at midnight. If you try to go on it at any other time, a box will appear where you put your email in and then you'll receive an audio message from this girl that tells you to come back at midnight to play. So if you do enter the website at midnight, you'll see scary pictures of this girl and she'll ask you to play a game with her. You then sift through the website clicking on various pictures and clues while creepy things can be heard. Once you successfully complete the game, a box will appear where you can type in your enemy's name. There the girl will get revenge on this person. But here's one little tiny catch. By her getting revenge on your enemy, she will haunt you in your dreams every night until you die, or until you're driven to insanity. Apparently the website that is currently up though is not the original. The original one is banned and only can be found in the depth of the dark web.
Halfway through into number 5, the Midnight Game. What comes to mind when you think of the Midnight Game? A game played in the dark, maybe the creepypasta, or maybe even the video game adaptation. While all of these are valid, the Midnight Game actually has roots as a pagan ritual that was used as a form of punishment for those who disobeyed the gods. The game itself is pretty simple, but the ritual or summoning is complex and not for those of you who can't actually prick your finger or actually follow rules. So simply put, you need a candle holder, because you're not gonna hold it with your hand, matches, a pen, paper, a needle or a pin or something to draw blood, and a wooden front door, specifically wooden, okay? If it's mahogany, that's preferred. Everything should be set up and ready before 12 a.m. as you won't have time to go back for everything once the game has actually begun. So you write your name on a piece of paper with the pen, then you prick yourself and put a drop of blood on the paper, okay? This is some real blood magic stuff. Gather the rest of your supplies, place the paper with your name and the blood on it in front of your wooden door, turn off all your lights, all your electronics, everything, light your candle, and then once it reaches 11:59, set your candle next to the paper and then start knocking on the door 22 times, making sure you complete the 22nd knock as the clock strikes midnight. Not sure how you're gonna do that, but have fun. After the 22nd knock, open your door, blow out your candle, close your door, and then immediately relight your candle. And apparently, you just summoned the Midnight Man, because then you gotta start moving all over your house, and you can't stop moving. You're not allowed to stay in the same place for more than a few seconds, otherwise he's going to get you, okay? Then, you have to keep doing this until 3:33 a.m. I don't know why you would willingly do this. It seems like a horrible idea, but hey, that's how we get horror movies, right?
In our 4th spot, we have the Blind Maiden game. I believe I talked about this game before, but it deserves a spot on today's list because it's one of the creepiest games that I have ever heard of. Basically, it's a website, Blind Maiden, and is haunted by a woman with no eyes. she's blind and she's a maiden. It can only be accessed at exactly midnight. But in order to get on, you have to be alone in your room with the lights off. If you meet this criteria, then you will be allowed to access the website. How does the website know you're doing this? Don't ask me, it's haunted. Once you get on the website, you have to be very careful what you click. Apparently, people have suffered from clicking things they shouldn't have, whatever that means. Eventually, on the website, a notification will pop up asking you if you accept or decline. If you accept, then the footage on your screen will change and you will then see live footage of someone approaching your house. This person will enter your house and you will see them approach you. But if you turn around, then the blind maiden will attack you. She'll rip out your eyes and then take a picture of you. This picture is then posted onto the website along with hundreds of other photos of her victims, all with their eyes gouged out. Now, if you choose the other option, decline, then you will be safe from the maiden, but you will no longer have access to this site. Either way, it's not worth the gamble, okay? I personally would like to keep my eyes.
In at 3, the elevator game. Elevators are relatively safe inventions, okay? They're meant to go up and down in all kinds of orders with numerous stops. That's what they're made for. So playing this game isn't putting any real stress on the elevator, but you'll be in an elevator for an extended period of time, and that always comes with a risk because, you know, fire, power going out, that kind of thing. And if that happens, an elevator is going to be the last place you want to be. But that's if you're normal. If you're playing this game, you're probably not going to be normal because you're trying to cross dimensions. Yeah, that's right, okay? This game is said to do many things, from opening portals to different dimensions to summoning the devil. So obviously, here's how you play. Get in the elevator alone or with friends, and then go to floors 4, 3, 6, 2, 10, 5, and then back down to 1. In that order specifically, okay? On the 5th floor, you'll meet a strange woman, and you just ignore her, okay? Don't interact with her at all. Just let her do her thing, and then let it pass, and then you just call floor 1, okay? And then, once you do, if you go back down to floor 1, get out of the elevator and don't look back. In fact, run 10 blocks away. But, if you do end up instead going up to floor 10, it requires at least 10 floors, alright? Okay? So, if you go up to floor 10, good luck, because that's when the bad things happen. You're either going to be in a new dimension or you're going to be talking with Satan, and if you do, can you ask him for my soul back? If anyone gets in or out of the elevator while you're attempting this, you're going to need to restart. But also, maybe you shouldn't do this at all because, you know, being possessed or transcending dimensions isn't necessarily a good thing.
In our second spot today, we have Crossroads. Now, this is a very popular game in Japan. Sometimes it's called the Crossroads game, other times it's called the Fortune game, because the game is said to tell you your fortune. To do this, you need to follow the game's instructions very carefully. You need a comb, something to hide your face with, and crossroad, an intersection with 2 or more roads. At night, you go to the crossroads and stand near a corner. You then stroke the comb so that it makes a noise, and repeat this. Suji Ura, grant me a true response. Then you have to hide your face. And then you wait. If you did everything correctly, someone will approach you. Do not reveal your face to them at any time though. When they approach you, you ask them for your fortune. They should tell you it. Sadly, you might not always receive the answers that you're looking for. Apparently, a number of people in Japan have taken their lives playing this game after receiving a bad fortune. This has resulted in its ban in Japan.
Finally, in at number 1, FNAF Help Wanted. Actually, ironically enough, the whole point of Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted is that you end up getting possessed in the end. And as we now know, at least I know, you'll know now, in Help Wanted we play as Vanessa A, who gets bumped up to be a video game tester after the last one gets removed. We spend the game trying to collect 16 cassette tapes that inadvertently end up summoning the sentient digital code manifestation of the series' main serial killer, William Afton. No, I'm not joking, this is actually the story. And known in this game as Glitch Trap. He then proceeds to take over our mind no matter what we do, allowing for our character to become the main villain in the next game, FNAF Security Breach. Trust me, I wish I was joking when I say this, but the whole point of this game is that you end up getting possessed at the end no matter what. Therefore, much like the various other games on this list, the only way to win is just not by playing.
In our number 8 spot today, we have Ouija boards. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Ouija boards are not to be messed with. Why can't we just leave spirits and otherworldly beings alone? You know, Ouija boards, if you haven't heard of them before, before are boards that are printed with letters and numbers and sometimes other signs or a simple yes or no. Users of the Ouija board place their hands on a planchette or pointer, and as they contact otherworldly beings, you can ask questions, and then whatever you've contacted is supposed to take hold of the planchette and either answer your questions with the signs labeled on the board or spell out the answers if the signs aren't enough. Basically, it's like iMessage, but for demons. Need I say more? There have been countless stories of people using Ouija boards in extremely haunted places, or some people not closing their Ouija board sessions properly and then having to face the consequences of those decisions. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, it's probably best to just play this one on the safe side and leave the ghosts alone. In our number 7 spot today we have Randonautica. Randonautica is an app that absolutely blew up on TikTok last year. The app uses a quantum number generator to give you some coordinates that are in your area so that you can go and explore, which would make it seem like some sort of fun adventure game that shows you new places you haven't seen yet, but instead there have just been countless stories of people encountering some pretty creepy stuff while out randonauting. People have had paranormal experiences, many of which have been well documented on social media, while others have found objects that are most definitely cursed. A group of teenagers even made the gruesome discovery of a suitcase which ended up containing 2 bodies while randonauting, which is absolutely insane. Even though the coordinates are supposed to be random, it always seems to lead to something scary and sinister. I'm not saying that something weird is going on here, I'm just saying this app and game might be a good one to stay the heck away from. In our number 6 spot today we have the Triple Mirror game. I had never heard of the Triple Mirror game before I started making this list, and honestly I'm pretty glad about that. So basically for this game you mostly just need a lot of mirrors. Well, actually you need 3 mirrors, no less. You'll also need a big white unscented candle. The unscented part is preferred because I heard ghosts don't like eucalyptus. So anyway, you light the candle and put it on the floor, and then you configure all of the mirrors in such a way that they reflect the image of the room's door in all 3 of the mirrors. It's not an easy setup for this spooky game, but that really is the hardest part. Once you get all the mirrors meticulously placed in the correct way, it is said you'll be able to see all of the ghosts that inhabit your room only through the 3rd mirror. Sometimes these ghosts will only be seen in flashes, and I'm not sure if that's more or less creepy. I'm not gonna lie, this game doesn't sound fun. In our number 5 spot today we have Charlie Charlie. Charlie Charlie went viral a few years ago as it quickly became a social media challenge that people wanted to try out. The game consists of crossing 2 pencils over one another on top of a piece of paper marked with yes or no. From there you can ask Charlie questions, and apparently the top pencil will move depending on the answer to your question. Who is answering your questions? Well, apparently Charlie, who is said to actually be a demon. Okay, summoning demons wasn't exactly high on my list of fun games to play, but to each their own I suppose. In our number 4 spot today we have Bloody Mary. This one is pretty famous, so there's a good chance you've heard of it already. This game, which in North America we call Bloody Mary, exists in multiple countries around the world, all with slightly different backstories depending on the location, but with relatively the same rules and outcome. So realistically this game can be played in any indoor room, but because of the fact that it requires a total blackout with no light leaking in, the most popular place to play the game is in the bathroom. Wait until nightfall and then enter the room with the necessary supplies. With a candle lit, look into the mirror and continue repeatedly chanting the name Bloody Mary until you reach the magic number 13. From here, people have explained that they have seen the apparition of Bloody Mary screaming at them, cursing at them, sometimes even going as far as to harm people, steal their soul, drink their blood, or even scratch their eyes out. I don't know you guys, there's just some things you don't risk. Whether I believe in it or not, why would I try and find out? In our number 3 spot today we have the Midnight Game. This game is said to have originated from an old pagan ritual that was used to punish those who broke the law. Basically, you write your full name out on a piece of paper and place it in front of a wooden door. Then, you light a candle and set it on the piece of paper and wait until just before midnight, and then knock on the door 22 times so that the last knock perfectly lines up with the first stroke of midnight. If you complete this, it is said that you will have unleashed the Midnight Man. Who is the Midnight Man? Well, apparently he's some sort of supernatural creature that is now hunting you for the next 3 hours. From the time he is unleashed until 3:33 a.m., you have to walk around with your candle and try not to get caught. If the candle goes out, that means he's close. If you can't get the candle relit, it's advised that you surround yourself with salt. If you don't act quick enough and the Midnight Man catches you, well, No one knows exactly what happens because no one's still around to tell the tale. In our number 2 spot today, we have Charlotte's Mirror. What is up with ghosts and mirrors, you guys? This game involves the conjuring of a spirit of a 7-year-old girl whose mother was burned at the stake in the 15th century after being accused of witchcraft. All you need to play this game is a dark room, a mirror, and something that Charlotte might like a toy. Put the toy on the floor, and while only looking at the reflection of it in the mirror, wait to see if Charlotte approves. If she does, she'll reward you by answering any questions you may have, but the trouble comes if you didn't bring her a gift she likes. It is said that Charlotte especially hates candles, so it's also recommended you don't bring one of those. Rumor has it she's not a ghost you want to mess with. In our number 1 spot today, we have the Closet Game. This is like 7 Minutes in Heaven, except the exact opposite of that. For this game, around midnight, you step into a dark closet and close the door. You wait for 2 minutes and then hold out an unlit match. From here, you need to chant, "Show me the light or leave me in the darkness." If you hear voices whispering behind you, fight the instinct to run as fast as you can and instead light the match right away. Don't let it go out though. If you do, that's when the demon will grab you and take you to wherever he came from, and that is not a place you want to go. As long as the match is lit, it acts as your protection. You can listen to what the whispers have to say for as long as you like, and when you're ready, slowly, without letting the match go out, reach for the door and leave the closet.